So this is the second video I'm making because the first one I made was like 5 minutes long and I hadn't even talked about anything that I meant to get to, and that's why I usually try and write things out before I do these. But I figured I would try and just talk and see what came out of that. So where am I at right now? I am a big giant ball of confusion and contradiction, starting with the fact that I don't really feel like I have any classes right now. Most of the things that I'm learning are from going out and connecting that with my urban class, and what dancing today in a social setting has to do with dancing in the 70s and 80s in social settings, and how that has evolved into codified styles. And so I kind of wonder what is the codified style of our current generation's dancing going to be in the next 10, 20 years? It could be pretty interesting. I'm not really sure what underground dance genre there is, because these are usually underground things, and I guess I'm not part of the cool hip underground, which is strange because when we're learning about house music and disco and all that, well, the original warehouses where house music came from, were really exclusive. I mean, you had to know some secret door to get into, or else you wouldn't even know that it was a dance club, because clubs are being shut down everywhere, so you couldn't really just get into that. And so I think back to when I was a huge house head in my high school and beginning of college undergrad years, how I felt like I was part of a really exclusive community, like you couldn't come to the house parties where the best new music was played unless, you were invited. So it was kind of an exclusive group. You couldn't go into the best, Miami is full of clubs everywhere. They're known all over the world, and they usually are playing some like electronic music thing, but they had a lot of underground clubs that not everyone could go to. You had to be like a DJ, but not just a normal like scratch and ratch DJ or people that you hear on Mill Avenue. You had to be legit. You had to know how to make transitions, how to pump the crowd up, even if it's a crowd of 10 exclusive people. So I guess part of that feeling that you are something special and that you know something that other people don't is kind of a thrill, and I think maybe part of what it comes from, these dance styles. And then once they become popularized, I don't know if you could even call them the same dance style anymore, really, because it's not about the same thing. But aside from that I feel like that's the only class that I'm really learning things in and making connections to. I'm finding also through teaching yoga and looking at yoga a lot more, this general feeling of vibrations inside our body. I think Michael Schumacher said in the beginning of class today how if you're really quiet, you can hear even the noises that your brain makes, the neurons that are being shot off. And I don't know if I've ever heard that, but I can believe it if you're going to pay enough attention. And there's something that stems from like the rattling in our bones that certain music gives us that is crucial to the purpose of dancing and music. And so again, I come back to this thing where I'm just a little frustrated sometimes with modern dance, why we feel the need to take that out of it. I know that it's, it kind of started as a thing, like we're not going to be slaves to the music maybe, but I feel like we've already explored that, and now we can feel free to return to it if we would like. And I think I want to get a little more into that. How can we create work that accepts the natural rhythms and desires of a connection to music, certain types of music that really drive that connection and desire to be part of a group and to be part of a dance, part of a sound system? How can we connect that to still being, intellectual artworks? and not getting, corny or being extreme slaves to the music. And I'm thinking back to my piece right now, and for three of us, the movement just feels so good in our bodies, and I think that's because I originally made it up to a song that felt really good to groove to, and I just really allowed myself to succumb to the vibrations and the weight and gravity that the song provided. And I'm wondering why I ever left creating movement that way, why I left the music and started to try and just think of ideas to create it. I think that they need to go hand in hand. And maybe for me personally, the music needs to be a stronger drive in it. So, because it's a valuable thing to be able to have that relationship. Not everyone can really find that relationship to their internal instincts for rhythm in really syncopatic ways, Okay, I'm gonna go now because I need to take a shower. Okay, bye friends. Sorry this was really long of me blabbering forever.